she can definitely help you out. The rest of you are mostly from the South Bay office. Great to see all of you, alls. And understand that while I'm going to be doing a good deal of talking, this is an interactive class. So if you are in a noisy area with kids screaming in the background or homeschooling going on, I get it. My greatest sympathies go out to you. Please mute yourself. However, if you're able to unmute yourself and interact and answer questions and do whatever, please do, because that's really vital to this class. I've done this class with the Board of Association of Realtors, and it was done in the webinar setting, so it was just me going out and people could interact with chat or asking questions or what have you. Yeah, that's the downside of what we have here, is that we can't necessarily be together, get that interaction that I know I enjoy. So we're going to do the best we can with what we have. Welcome to Dialing for Dollars, all of y'all. This is a class I developed several years ago, and I'm just simply sharing what I do every day, Monday through Friday, from 9 to 11, the calls that I make with a variety of different types of calls. And I've broken it down into why I do it, what I do, you know, exactly the detail around how you can most effectively make calls to find business. And that's where the vast majority of my business has come over the years, is in calling people, whether it's expired, for sell by owner, circle calls, which are dialing around a listing, or absentee owners. Going to branch into divorced calls here very soon. So I'm doing my best to find business. Now, how many of you are, and I want you to unmute yourself and tell me, how many of you have been in the business for less than a year? Thank you, Max. That's Debbie. Anna, are you raising your hand, or you just got it like that? Debbie, I got you. Thank you. Okay.
Less than a year.
Cecily, yep. Hey, Cecily, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Good morning.
She was actually in my office yesterday getting a full-on indoctrination into how this all works. Michael, less than a year. Thank you, Michael. Appreciate that. So, yeah, those of you that are brand new to this, I'm going to tell you the best call you can make is to everybody on here. And I was sharing with Cecily, if you've got an iPhone or Samsung or whatever, you can probably download an app that will push out all of your contacts to a flat file, an Excel spreadsheet, a Google sheet, a whatever sheet. It's called a flat file. And now you'll have a name and a phone number, maybe an email address. But is that information complete? Probably not. So what you can do is, using that spreadsheet, you can begin to build your database. Because the first and best place to start is with your database. All right? Because people who know, like, and trust you, whether they're friends or in their previous businesses that you were in, they're going to want to work with you, and they're going to want to help you, and they're going to want to refer business to you. That is the absolute best and first place to start for all of you. And if you have that flat file of contacts, build that out to complete name, complete phone number, complete email address, complete physical property address. Because if you have all of that, you've got a record that you can now follow up with, market to, ask for business, and so forth. So everybody got that? All of you that are newer, your job this week, after this class is over, is to download all your contacts onto a flat file and begin calling them and getting complete contact information on them. Got it? Say yes.
Got it. Yes.
Got it.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now, once we have our database up and going and all is well and life is wonderful with that, next thing we're going to do is Bob's going to share the screen. And there it is. Okay. And then once we've contacted everybody that we know, who know, likes, and trusts us, now we're going to start making other calls because we need about at least 3 legs to our business. And sphere of influence can be one of those. Or your database, your past clients, what have you. That can be 1 or 2 of your legs. Then you need other legs. It could be expireds for sell by owners, absentee owners, circle calls, maybe property specific type owners. I was talking to one gal who is Japanese and can speak Japanese, and it could be you're going to go look for Japanese specific people and bring value to them. So whatever it is for you, that's what it is for you. All right, dialing for dollars. Here we go. How do I get business? Especially those of you that are new. There's 1 of 3 ways. You can wait for it to show up, because I'm sure the day you got your real estate license, everybody started calling you saying, thank God you got your real estate license. I was waiting for you so I could do business. Did everybody do that?
Yes.
Yes.
No. Yeah, Lee. Okay, awesome. Good for you, Lee. So build that database because they want to work.
Waiting for me.
That's right. That's right. Well, and actually, I was out door knocking one day, and a lady answered the door, and she said, "Oh, at home at 10 o'clock on a whatever day in the middle of the week." And she said, "Oh, I'm a real estate agent too." And I went, "Great. What are you doing to find business?" "Well, I'm waiting for the phone to ring. I guess I should do what you're doing." Yeah, I guess you should. So waiting for it's not a great solution. You can pay for it. How can we pay to get business?
Advertise, send flyers.
Flyers. Good. What else?
Wait for the dialing systems.
Dialing systems. Well, yes and no, because dialing, you're actually having to do something.
Social media.
Oh,
Social media. Thank you. Paying for ads. And Lee, you mentioned flyers. That's really, if you do that at a high level, that is direct mail. And doing a mailing or farming, which I know some agents in this area that have been doing farming, sending a mail piece, a newsletter, whatever, to their farm over 20 years, and they do a great business.
Right.
And all of them will tell you, if you have 1,000-person farm or 1,200-person farm, house farm, and you mail to them at least once a month, twice a month is better, over 18 months, you will begin to see business. Okay, and it's going to take 18 months, and it's going to take the expense of mailing to them for that period of time. So unless you have a whole bunch of cash sitting around to do that, may not be the most effective. Also, Google ads. Buying Google ads or Facebook ads or what have you to get people to register at your website is another way of going about it. When I first got into the business, that's the broker that I was working with. That's what he was doing. And he would spend $200,000 a year for $2 million of income. So it was about 10% of his budget. Do you have $200,000 lying around? Probably not. So paying for it may not be a great solution. So the other one, which includes, Cecily, a dialing system, is go get it. And that's what I've been doing for many, many years. I'm going to pick up the phone and I'm going to find business. I'm going to talk to people I don't know, people I do know, and people I don't know, and I'm going to find business. So one has to ask themselves, though, is calling the right thing for you to do? Is it right for you? Because it may not be for everybody, and that's okay, because there's 1,000 different ways to find business.
Even though that is the most immediate way to get
Correctly,
going.
yes. Dialing or calling is the most immediate way. Also, one of the most efficient, because it doesn't take you very long to make calls. Pros to making a call: it is efficient. Hey, I just said that. Okay, you pick up the phone, you make a call, you either have a conversation or you don't. It's very low cost. We all have one of these. And the sources that we have of the phone numbers or like the dialer that you're going to see. Wow, what's that?
Call from 1
Sorry.
801 2.
Forgot I had that on. Evil Utah's. Yeah, I had. I was just on a live dialing session with another market center, and I'll be doing some live dialing at the end of this, so over a speaker. So you'll be able to hear what the other person is saying. You'll be able to hear what I'm saying, because I found we can talk about scripts. They say this, you say that. They say this, you say that. We can talk about that. It never goes in a linear fashion. They say this, now they go over here. Then they come back over here, and then they go over there. So how does that all evolve and work? So low cost, because we all have that. What are some of the cons? There's no body language, and we know that 40 to 60% of our communication is body language, and it's all our words and our tonality over the phone. So that becomes very important. And here is a goddess among women, Holland Basket, your director of first impressions?
Services and marketing coordinator.
Services and marketing coordinator, Holland, and also coffee deliverer. Thank you, Holland. She's awesome. So, okay, so body language is important. Another thing is, what do you sound like? Do you have a thick accent that's hard to understand over the phone? Do you speak timidly, quietly, don't project? I'm sure many of you already know I have a face for radio. So my voice works extremely well over the phone. So that's why it's a great tool for me. But one of the biggest cons is that it's scary, right? And why is it scary?
Fear of rejection.
Exactly. The fear of rejection. Rejection sucks, period. It does. And there's just no two ways around that. Rejection sucks. Sorry. Here's the reality. You will have to hear no from someone you don't know, or have to say no to someone you love. So what does that mean? Oh, wait. What does that mean to you? You'll have to hear no from someone you love, or from someone you don't know, or have to say no to someone you love.
You have to treat calling as business and don't let it be personal, because what do you do when somebody is just not happy that you're calling? Don't take it personal. Business, business, business. One thing that I did do, Bob, I did this for a few months and it really worked well for me, but I was able to do it. But I never did call when I was a little down or depressed. I wouldn't do that. I had to be on an upbeat, and I think it comes through across the phone in what mood you are, if you're optimistic and outgoing and so forth. So I never did call when I was down. I wouldn't do it to myself.
Okay.
Because I knew I would get a lot of rejection. You have to be in the right frame of mind and go for it when you feel good.
Okay. And this saying, you'll have to hear no from someone you don't know, or have to say no to someone you love. What does that really mean?
It's hard to do.
Yep. You have to do it consistently, time block every day, 2 to 3 hours. So saying to peeps, you're busy. Yep, that's a good one. Thank you, Chi. So what that means is, if you're not willing to pick up the phone and face rejection and being told, no, I don't want to do business with you, then that means you're not going to find any business. You're not going to be able to close any business and get a paycheck that will allow you to pay for your groceries, pay for your house, pay for vacations, go on trips, or whatever. Sorry, honey, we can't go to Hawaii this year. not because of COVID, because I was unwilling to pick up the phone and be told no by somebody. Yes, that's harsh, I know. Keep in mind, what are they rejecting?
Buying or selling a home?
Buying or selling a home. Are they rejecting you personally?
No.
No, they are not. They're just rejecting what you're offering. If you go into McDonald's and you walk in and you order your Big Mac, what do they always ask you?
Do you want fries with that?
Do you want fries with that? And why you would ever say no to McDonald's fries is beyond me, and it can happen. And if you say no, does that cashier break down in tears and run into the back because you rejected them?
Not at all.
Not at all. Nope.
But the
You're
next
just saying,
one.
I don't want fries today. Maybe you're on a diet. Maybe you're just insane. Whatever. They're not rejecting. When people say no to us, they're not rejecting us personally. What if they hang up on you? I've been hung up on. Gosh, yesterday afternoon I was dialing and I got hung up 10 times maybe. It was crazy. 2 days ago. The great news is if they hang up on you, now you can go on to the next call that much quicker. They weren't going to do business with you anyway, so that's cool. What if they tell you to F off? I had one of those yesterday. I was calling expireds, and the lady was explaining to me, we're not selling anymore, blah, 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 blah. And I said, well, okay, you were selling. What's going on? Do you still want to make that happen? And she was kind of vague about how she was answering. And then I heard the husband in the background say, here, let me take that. He got on the phone and said, okay, she was being polite and trying to explain this, but F you, bitch, and hung up on me. That was the first one of the FUs I've gotten in quite a while. And I've been using this dialer for 12, 13 years now, consistently every day that I work. I've talked to thousands of people, and in that time frame, I've probably been told to F off 3 times. And one of my favorites, I hate realtors. I hope you and your children die of AIDS. Yeah, I've had that. And hurting people hurt people. If somebody's going to do that to you, there's something going on in their life that they're hurting about.
Really
And
bad.
that hurts worse than whatever they can
One
do to you.
important thing, Bob, I had somebody hang up on me and didn't say anything, just I identified myself and boom, hanged up. And I made a note and I ignored it, but 2 weeks later I called because I thought if he hanged up on me, he hanged up on everybody.
Yep.
So I'm going to try to find out. He gave me a listing. He said my last name. I said, you want a listing? Come over. That was it. I sold his house in a week. He didn't tell me off. He just hanged up, but he hanged up on everybody else.
Yeah. Yeah. And Lee, thank you for bringing that up. A lot of times we'll get rejection from people that don't know us or we don't know them. And we think they hate us. They're going to remember us. We're on their S list. And you call them the next day and they don't even remember who you are. We're very vain. We think that everyone we talk to remembers us and thinks the world of us or hates us or whatever. As human beings, we're horribly, horribly vain. Keep in mind, if you call your friends and ask them, who do you know that might be thinking about buying or selling or investing in real estate that I can help today? And they go, you know what, let me think about that. I'll give you a call back. The second that we hang up the phone, they have forgotten all about us. That's a reality, folks. And those people that tell you to F off or treat you badly or what have you, you can call them the next day and they're not even going to remember who you are having that conversation. So, Lee, thank you for bringing that up.
You're welcome.
All right. What about the do not call list? Keller Williams Corporate requires me to tell you there is a do not call list and you shouldn't call it. So there, I told you that. All right. Now, the mindset.
Bob, I have a question. Yeah. What do you do? I mean, I just want to.
I call everybody.
Okay, I do too.
Yeah,
I do
don't
too.
scrub for it. I will tell you this. Over my, again, 12, 13, 14 years of dialing, talking to thousands of people, I've had 2 people threatened to turn me into the do not call list or the do not call police. One was trying to extort me, saying it's a $20,000 fine. If you pay me something, I won't turn you in. Right. Another one called the team leader, said he was going to pursue it, going to do something, going to do whatever. Nothing happened. I was talking with a gentleman once off topic of something else. He said, yeah, I got a call once and I was upset with it. So I tried to contact the do not call police, and it was so difficult and never went anywhere. I just gave up. So that's been my experience with it. Now, I will tell you that Keller Williams Corporate does have to battle this on a consistent basis throughout the United States. So you are taking a gamble, you are taking a risk, and the dialer that I use has a do not call category. And so if I get somebody on the phone, and this happened this week, and they said, hey, you're calling somebody on a do not call list, I immediately say, my apologies, I'll get you out of here. And I click the DNC contact button on my dialer, and I will never call them again. So that's how I handle it. Thank you, Manu.
Oh, you're welcome. Can I just add one little thing to do not call list? I call, like you said, I call everybody. And then if somebody's upset, I apologize like you do. I never leave a message though. I never leave a voicemail to a do not call number.
Okay, that's fine. The time I will leave a message is expired and for sale by owners. And I'll send them a text as well.
Okay.
So that's what I do. You do you. That's awesome. All right. Now the mindset we need to have when we're making calls from Andrew Carnegie, when you are digging for gold, you have to move a lot of dirt. And you are looking for gold, not dirt. One of my mentors maybe put and in there instead of but, because we know from bold that but is not a word we want to use. So anyway, you're looking for gold and you're going to have to move a lot of dirt. Expect that you will find people to help. Have that expectation. My wife started into the business over a year ago. I had her making certain types of calls. Over several months, she got to a point where she asked me, how or when did you get to the point where you weren't expecting them to say no? And I had to stop and think and go, I've been doing this for 13, 14 years and I still expect them to say no. So I'm braced for no, I'm ready for no. And if we have our mindset around, we're gonna find people to help, then the law of attraction, the universe will bring that to us. Okay. And some will, some won't, so what?
Bob, let me ask you a question. You always call 9 to 11.
Yes.
Is there a time in the afternoon that's a good time to call?
Thank you for bringing that up, Lee. I was at a mega camp several years ago, and there was somebody on the stage that they were talking about calling as, that session was about calling, dialing, or what have you. And they were asked, when is the best time to call? Everybody wants to know, when is the best time to call? And this operation, she thought mid-afternoon is best. So this company, this team, they locked a guy in a room from 8 in the morning till 8 at night over a 2-week period. And they did nothing but make calls and measure when was the best time to make calls. When did they get the highest answer rate? When did they get the best contact rate? Here's what they found. It didn't matter at all. The reason I call in the morning is because that's when I'm my most energetic. I feel the best. I'm the strongest at what I do is in the morning. If you're strong in the afternoon, if you're strong in the evening, do it when you're your strongest or at your best, because that will make all the difference in the world. Adam Loria across the hall from me over here, and Randy, I know they have evening dial sessions, 5 to 7, a couple days a week. And he does really, really well with that. So again, it doesn't matter when you call. It just matters that you are in your best shape. Okay, so yes, I did. You said, damn it, Bob, you blew away one of my excuses for not calling in the mornings. Hey, Chi, and if you're better, Chi, if you're better mid-afternoon,
call them
if that's
weekends?
when you're on your game, then that's when you should do it. Absolutely, I won't argue that one
Right.
bit. Yes, Lee.
What about Saturday or Sunday?
I will call Saturday mornings sometimes, and I've been told Sunday evening is ideal. Why?
Everybody's getting ready for Monday morning.
Correct. Everybody's probably home from their weekend thing or whatever, and so they could be doing that. A person could do that. I do my best to take Sunday off, so I don't want to do that then. And you do you. Who do you call? And it's not Ghostbusters. I know you're thinking that. First of all, I mentioned this earlier, your sphere of influence, your friends, people who know, like, and trust you. The most shocking thing that occurred to me the very first time I took Bold, those of you that are newer haven't had this experience. We did it in person. One of the first things we had to do was call people on our database. And there's a script about how we're in a class, and we have to get 10 referrals to win a prize or whatever. And you ask, who do you know? And I was not a database caller prior to that at all. I was making cold calls. We were getting online leads. I was calling people I didn't know. And I was also newer to that area, so I didn't have a big database of people that I knew at that point, kind of like I'm doing here. So what happened, though, is when I asked them, who do you know that might be thinking about buying, selling, or investing in real estate that I could call today? I would hear them over the phone go, let me think about that. Is it okay if I call you back? Or can I send you an email? Or whatever. The very first call, the light went on and I went, oh my God, people who know, like, and trust me want to help me. How have I missed this for so many years? And it's the same for you, all of you that are on this call right now. People who know, like, and trust you want to help you. And that script is as easy as, hey, I'm taking a great class and we're having a competition. I have to get 10 referrals in the next month in order to win. Who do you know at church, work, wherever, that's thinking about buying or selling or investing in real estate that I can help today? Or, hey, I'm hoping you can help me with a challenge. I've made a goal to help 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 families this coming year. Who do you know that's thinking about buying, selling, or investing in real estate that I can help today? Hey, I'm hoping you can help me out. I need to make my mortgage payment next month. No. Yeah, so some people don't want to do the competition one because they don't think it's genuine or real. It is. You're in a competition every day, attempting to get the most business that you can. And you can go with, I've made a goal to help X number of families this year. Who do you know? So that's a way you can call your sphere. Past clients. Those of us that have been in the business a while, past clients worked with you before, they'll probably work with you again. National Association of Realtors tells us that people that were interviewed, homeowners, 90-something% of them say they would work with the same client. And at the end of the day, they find out that 7% actually do. So there's a lot of past clients out there that are an opportunity for you. And also, keep in mind that everybody out there that currently owns a home is somebody's past client. Is that person still in business? Have they stayed in touch? If only 7% do and 96% say they will, there's a great big opportunity there. Now, those of you that raised your hand and said, oh, gosh, I've only been in this a year or less, you have past clients. You were doing something prior to this where you were working with other people. Well, guess what? They like you, you've worked with them, they trust you, And now that you're in a new line of work, a new industry or what have you, you can go to them and ask them for business. You work with me back over here. Will you work with me over here? So yes, you do, even though you're brand new and may not have even closed a deal yet, you do have past clients. Have I beaten that dead horse enough? Absentee owners. These are people that own income property. I love these ones. What you can do is go to your title reps and ask for properties where the property address is different than the mailing address. Because chances are that's an income property. It isn't 100%, however, your odds are pretty good. Because here's the property we own and we live here. And a lot of times title reps can get you phone numbers of those. I have a resource that I use, and I'll show you here in a little bit, and I'm able to extract phone numbers out of there, and I call them, just want to see if they want to move, or not move, if they want to sell. Because it's a financial decision. It is not it's not an emotional decision. It's, hey, is this property still working for me? Or maybe I want to sell it and I want to buy something else with it. Who knows? So reach out to absentee owners. Also, you may get the tenant by mistake. Well, tenant, have you thought about taking that money you're putting towards rent and putting it towards equity in your own home? My wife did this probably a year ago, maybe less, and got somebody that was a tenant that said, yeah, we do want to buy a home. Had a buyer consult with them, showed them some homes, and now they own a home and have owned it for a couple of months now. So you never know what you're going to get. Absentee owners. Here's another call, a just sold, a just listed. I mentioned Cole Realty Resource. That is a company that produces phone numbers for absentee owners. If you can upload a list into it and it will produce phone numbers or a circle radius around a listing. This is an ancient Mike Ferry script. Hey, we just sold a home in your neighborhood and we know that 2 homes usually come on the market after that. Who do you know that might be thinking about selling? My strategy with this, and I'm doing it right now, we've got a listing coming up in Torrance here on 235th, and it's going to be on the market in a couple of weeks. So right now I'm circle calling around that saying, I promised the owner I would call the neighbors and ask who you know that might be thinking about buying a home in the neighborhood and let you pick your neighbor. It's coming on the market in 2 weeks. Now, when it's on the market, I'll call again. It's on the market now. Have you thought of anybody? When it goes into contract, I'll call again and say, we have it in contract. We've still got buyers looking for homes. Who do you know that's selling? And then when it closes, I can call them again and say, we closed it and we still need more houses. Who do you know? So that's 4 touches in a farm or an exclusive market area. Could one consider that farming without spending a whole lot of money? The answer is yes.
There you go.
I didn't direct mail or send out a card or do anything like that. All I did was call them. And if I get them on the phone 4 times, they're going to know who Bob is. I have a buyer's script. And some of you, in our market right now, do we have buyers that we can't find properties for? The answer is yes. A lot of us are having a hard time getting buyers into contract, aren't we? Yeah. And so if they're looking for a 1,300 square foot house in West Torrance and there's not enough houses on the property, hey, title rep, I need all the 1,300 square foot homes in West Torrance. And if you got the phone numbers, great. If not, I can load it into Cole and get the phone numbers. And I can call them and say, I've got a buyer looking for a home like yours. What would it take for you to sell? Pre-foreclosures. I get a list of those through LandVoice. RedX, Vulcan 7 also provides that. Everybody, at least in our area, on the west side of LA County, if they're in foreclosure, they have equity. And there's a chance that they may not be able to rectify it. And so they are able to sell, take whatever equity they have and move on. So, and now with the forbearance, the Fannie and Freddie loans, I understand they're tacking the missed payments towards the end of it. There may be other banks that are not allowing that. So there could be, here in the very near future, a flux of pre-foreclosures that we can hit up and see if we can help them out. And then the golden nugget of people to call: expired for sell by owner, expired calls. I don't have a lot of success in our market with expired. There's just not that many of them. For sell by owner, I've had more success with. And I get that data from, right now I'm using Land Voice. There's a company called the Red X. There's also Vulcan 7. I know some of you on this call in the Alhambra office, your office provides you Vulcan 7 data. MLS, we're not supposed to use MLS to find expireds. You could find FSBOs in Craigslist or Zillow. Another category in Craigslist that goes missed a lot, that is for rent by owner. The person that owns the property is renting it themselves. They're not using a property manager. Call them and ask them, hey, is it time to sell? That's an absentee owner. It's a financial decision. Is it time to sell? I did this once. I actually got the agent who was in a different market and was trying to help out the owner. And I said, well, would they rather sell it? Well, yeah, they would. Well, great. Refer it to me. I'll pay you a referral fee and we'll get it sold. And we did. So for rent by owner, nobody's calling them. Everybody calls expireds. And just to make a case in point, how many of you are calling expireds on a daily basis? Unmute and tell me, yes, I call expireds on a daily basis.
Yes, I call on a daily basis.
All right, Marius. I got a couple that raised their hand. That is more than most we got 21 participants. I'll usually get one or two that'll say they're doing it. However, it's not everybody is calling expired. So don't believe the BS that everybody is calling expired, because they're not. But I will tell you, I have not had great success calling expireds. That's just my own personal experience. If you are, awesome. Keep doing it. All right. Now, how do you, when you're delivering your script, and trust me, I'll get into building a script here in a little bit, how do you say it? First thing you want to do is always be smiling when you're on the phone. Smile and dial. It's valid. Because your voice carries differently if you're smiling. People would rather talk to somebody that's pleasant, happy, sounds energetic. We would rather talk to somebody like that than somebody that's dull and boring and whatever. I have a stand-up desk here that when I'm making my dialing, I crank it up. So for my 2 hours of dialing, I'm standing up and making my calls. Yeah, and you have better energy when you stand up. Using downswings, where this is so important, downswings allow you to sound more confident. If you don't know what that is, here's a great example. Hi, this is Bob, and I'm a local real estate professional. Or this is Bob, I'm a local real estate professional. Which one would you rather work with?
The first one.
Second one.
Who said the first one? Okay, because that was an upswing. I'm a local real estate professional. I'm hoping you don't hang up on me.
Kinda.
I'm hoping you recognize who I am. Versus, this is Bob. I'm a local real estate professional. Which sounds more confident?
Second
I
one.
think the second one sounds more upbeat.
First
It's
one,
to
you
me.
almost asked the question. It
correct.
sounded like a question.
Correct. Downswings, even when you're asking a question, downswing your question. Who do you know that's thinking about buying or selling a home or investing in real estate that I can help today? That's a question, and it's asked in a firm, direct manner. And if you're communicating in a firm, direct manner, people will have confidence in you because you're projecting confidence. Okay? Always have your script in front of you until it's embedded up here. Folks, I do not have scripts in front of me unless I'm learning a brand new one. At one point I did. They're all up here now. Let me tell you one thing about scripts. Number one, they're vital. And I know everybody says, I don't want to use scripts because I don't want to sound scripted. That's not the fault of the script. That's your fault for not knowing your script well enough. And if you ever listen to me, hear me, you will say, no, that doesn't sound like a script. Cecily, you were over here on the left side of me yesterday. Did I sound like I was delivering a script?
Not at all. Not
Right.
at all. And I think
Right.
we remember those, the conversations that you sent me. They were great.
Yes. I was having conversations. They were scripted. Well, trust me, folks, I'm saying the same thing over and over and over and over again every day. And I know what they are. And here's one thing I want you to get a grasp of. And this is why I built this way. Your intro is important. Having the script for your intro is vital. Then the conversation is going to go one of 5 ways. And as long as you have a response for those one of 5 ways, you're ready. The scripts that go linearly down a path, conversations rarely actually follow that path. And the scripts or the questions that you ask allow you to stay on path. Okay. Be confident. And the way you're confident is with downswings and knowing what questions you're going to ask and knowing what you're going to say based on what they say. And this is the hardest thing for me to teach. I have been doing this for years, so it's natural for me. I know everything they're going to say. I know exactly what I'm going to say. If you're brand new, you don't. And you just got to do it. You got to make your mistakes. You got to bloody your knees and screw up, and it's okay. Come from contribution. Be more concerned with them than you are with getting a paycheck. Be curious, be interested in them. Ask questions about their situation. Dig deeper into what they're telling you. And remember that we control the call with questions, don't we? Yeah, that's how you control any call. Sign calls, which we used to have a lot more of before all the apps that you can have on the phone and you can look up properties online. People used to have to drive by, see a sign, call the phone number on the sign to ask about the property. On a sign call, people will go, hey, I'm calling about the house on Osage. How much is it? They've asked the question, now they're in charge. They're in control. And I would flip the script on them and say, that's a great house. We're getting a lot of calls on that one. Are you looking to buy a home? Now I'm in charge because I asked the question. And then I would continue to ask questions. And keeping in mind that the one who is speaking the most feels the best. And if they're the one speaking the most, answering your questions, then they're going to feel good about you. They don't care about how much you know about the market or what the last one sold for or whatever it is, this data that we have up in our heads or we can research or find. They don't care about that. They want to know that you care about them. And by asking them questions is a great way. Another thing I encourage you to do is people will ask us, hey, so what's the average price per square foot? What's the average list to sell price? What's the inventory like? Different things like that. And an easy way to answer it was, well, were you aware that in our market last month, there was a 1.6 month of supply? And you answered their question by asking them a question. Get in the habit of answering questions as a question. Or when we're getting data, when we're getting information, attempt to deliver that as a question. because then they're engaged, they're a part of the conversation. You're not just spewing information out of your mouth. A very wise dialer, Mark Peak, up in Northern California, once told me, if you make 2 statements without asking a question, you've lost them. Now we're going to get into what do I say. The script, the opening script structure comes in 3 parts. Are you ready? 1 is an introduction. And this is important. When they answer the phone, what do they say?
Hello.
They say hello. And the way they say hello tells you how you should be talking to them. If they say hello, I'm not going to go, hi, this is Bob. I'm a local real estate professional. because I'm going to bowl that person over. If they say hello, then I say, hi, this is Bob. I'm a local real estate professional. I'm going to match their pace and their tonality. If they answer the phone and say, hi, hey, this is Bob. I'm a local real estate professional. I'm calling about whatever, however they say hello. What do we call that when we're matching what they're doing?
Mirroring.
Right. You're mirroring and matching. You're getting on their same level because they're going to be more comfortable and confident with you. I always start with good morning. Sometimes even in the afternoon, I'll forget and say good morning. That can be fun too. I start with good morning because if I'm making a cold call to somebody I've never spoken with before, they don't know my voice, they don't know me, they don't know my tonality, and good morning allows them to key into my voice because it's a recognizable phrase. Good morning is something everybody knows. So when they hear that good morning with my voice and tonality, now that enables them to hear the rest of what I'm going to say. That's why it's so important to start with that. I know it seems strange that I get that granular, and it is important. And I always introduce myself. Now you can go, this is Bob with Keller Williams Realty, or the whatever team, or whatever your thing is. I choose to say, this is Bob, I'm a local real estate professional. And the reason I do that, years ago, Keller Williams would teach a lot of classes on making calls and scripts and so forth. And during Bold, a lot of Keller Williams agents were calling the same kind of calls that I would make, and people got sick of hearing Keller Williams. And so I'd get people pushing back and going, oh God, not another Keller Williams agent. You're the 5th one I've talked to in the last 10 minutes. So I choose to say, this is Bob, I'm a local real estate professional. And I figure if I say that enough, they might actually believe I'm a real estate professional. Fair enough? So you introduce yourself. And I start with introducing myself because telemarketers start with, hi, this is Bob, how you doing? And if you hear a voice you've never heard before asking you how you're doing, what do you immediately think?
Telemarketer.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Max. Nailed it. Whenever I get somebody calling and it's a number or a voice I don't recognize, and they go ask me how you doing, the walls go up, the defenses go up. Okay, what are you going to try and do? No way. I never ever, if I'm making cold calls, I never ever ask how you doing. Ever. I know some people that do. Great. Good for you. If you have success with it, keep doing it. If you don't, if it's getting in the way, get rid of it. So I always start with introducing who I am. And then I confirm I have the correct person. Have I reached the owner of whatever street it is? I know some of the role play partners I have like to start with the name. You can say, this is Bob, I'm a local real estate professional. Have I reached name? I've also heard some agents starting off with, before they introduce themselves, the person says hello and they go, hi, oh, hi, is this Bob? and they have success with that. I'm just always concerned about being too familiar up front on a cold call if they don't know who I am. So I confirm I've got the right person, because the resources that I use to get phone numbers, a lot of times are incorrect. And I want to make this point, and I was sharing this on the dialing session I was doing previously to this. If you get a wrong number, it's still an opportunity. I've gotten business from wrong numbers. And it's as simple as saying, oh, I apologize, I must have a wrong number. You know, we're always looking for people to help. Who do you know that's thinking about buying or selling or investing in real estate that I could help today? I was calling a expired listing in a city called Rio Linda in Northern California a couple of years ago and asked, is this the owner of whatever street? Oh, no, that's the wrong number. My apologies. Do you even live in Rio Linda? Yes, I do. Well, I'm always looking for people to help. Who do you know? Blah, blah, blah. She said, you know, actually, there's 4 ladies of us living here in this 2-story house. One of us is getting older and we need to move to a single story. Well, great, we should get together. I got that listing and helped them buy another house on a wrong number. So if you get a wrong number, it's okay. You may still be able to help someone. And to the extent that you can interject humor, that'll help you out a great deal. The one I like to do with expireds is if I know I've got the right person, I'll say, I'll bet I'm not the first person to call you about your house that came off the market, am I? And sometimes they'll say, yeah, you're about the 20th. So then I'll say, great, do I get a prize for being 20th? And they laugh. And guess what happens after they laugh? I get to go on. So to the extent that you can make the other person on the phone laugh or chuckle or loosen up at all, now you get permission to continue the conversation. All right, then there's the transition. I am calling because there is some sort of magic with because. Jeb Blount in his book Fanatical Prospecting tells a story of how this word because can have such a great impact and influence people to open up or listen to what we have to say. I like to use fear-removing phrases real quickly. Got a real quick question for you. Or I'm calling you out of the blue. Because I've had people be concerned, well, why are you calling me? What's this about? What's going on? I'm just calling you out of the blue. Because I want to know when you're going to sell your flipping house so I can get the listing. And then I'm calling because, and then it's the powerful question. Whatever that powerful question is, whatever call you're making. I'm calling because I'm just curious what caused you to take your house off the market for an expired. I'm calling because I'm working with a buyer that is looking for a home like yours. What would cause you to sell? I'm calling because I see your house is for sale by owner, and I'm just wondering if you're willing to work with a buyer's agent. I'm calling because we just listed a home for sale in your neighborhood, and I promised the owner I would call the neighbors and ask, who do you know that might be thinking about buying a home in that area? And folks, those were all scripts. All of those questions were a script. And it got me through on a cold call from this person doesn't know me from Adam to I have permission to ask this question now. And then depending on what they say after that is where I'm going to take it after that. All right. Here's the 3 most important questions. If you're able to get to these, this is courtesy of Joel Rico. He has not language of sales, language of agreement, I think he calls it. If you get somebody on the phone long enough and you find out what it is that's motivating them, causing them to move or do whatever, what is important about that? What will having whatever that is do for you? And what will having whatever that is mean for you? They're 2 different questions. And if you're able to get someone here, this is the tear-jerking question. You know, what is important for you about getting to Austin? Well, we've got our kids there, our grandkids or what have you. Oh, okay. What will having that proximity to your kids and your grandkids do for you? Well, that will mean we don't have to travel as much and we'll always be there for them. Great. And what will being close to your kids and your grandkids mean for you? And then that's where they really dig deep into, this is why we need to make this happen. Okay, so those are 3 really important questions.
Can you repeat the questions?
Sure. Let me see if I can go back. What is important about whatever it is? If they're willing to share with you, hey, the reason we're selling is this, or the reason we're buying is this, whatever this is, then you ask, what's important about this? Well, it's this. Okay, then what will having that, because this is what's important, then what will having that do? That is the answer to this.
Right.
Did I just confuse y'all? Good.
Got it.
What will that do for you? And what will having whatever that is mean for you? And I'll be honest and upfront that I don't very often get to ask those questions on a call. That's more than likely going to happen when you're in front of them. Okay, what if they don't answer the phone? Do you have the right contact? Then leave a message. Because and the folks that are on the call in the morning see me do this all the time. When I'm calling for sell by owners, I probably have the right contact. So I'm going to leave them a message and I'll send them a text. And you can use text replacement or Google Voice with standard texts. So that way when I leave, this is Bob, I'm calling about your house for sale on 123 Main Street. And I'll send you a text as well. And then I send them a text. And what I find is most will reply to the text when I do that. And if there's an email them. Rejection sucks. Your slide is showing rejection sucks. Wait, can you see what if they don't answer?
No.
Yes?
Yeah, at least on mine it says rejection sucks.
Same
Oh,
here.
yeah. That's the screen that's being shared.
Okay, so let me stop share. I'm sorry, y'all. I thought I had the right screen up.
You were trying to make us commit all this to memory.
Why didn't somebody tell me? Jeez,
Master Jedi trick.
I've just been
Yeah.
writing everything you've been saying.
Okay, so now you can see the most important thing. Ah, yeah, there we go. Okay. All right. Now do you see it? Do you see what if they don't answer?
We
Oh,
still see you.
Share. There we go.
It's starting.
There we
There
go.
you go.
I have no idea what happened there, folks. My apologies. I was giving you all this great information and now it's blowing by you. Hope you wrote it all down. Or what I will do,
You snooze, you lose.
let me do this. Hold on. Since I screwed up with that, I'm going to put my email in chat. So what you can do is, oh God, somebody needs to be admitted. Okay. If you send me an email, I will send you this presentation.
Thank you, Bob.
You bet. Okay, there you go. Copy and paste my email and I will send you this presentation. So my apologies, folks. Here we go. The most important thing, this is important because it's the most important thing. Give value without expecting anything in return. Where this showed up for me just recently, a year and a half ago, yeah, Banu, I need you to email me. And then I'll send you that presentation. A year and a half ago, my wife and I were doing an open house for another agent in our office that had a listing. And so before the open house, we just go up and down the street, door knock, and invite people to the open house. This is back when we could do that. Can't do that now. However, this is when we could. And I talked to this one nice old lady, Carolyn Beach, and you ever thought about selling? No, I'm going to stay here and I'm never moving anywhere, but I need some help. This door over here on the garage is wearing out. I need to replace that. Do you have a good handyman? And standing there at the door at that moment, I did not have a good handyman. And I said, absolutely, I'll find you somebody. So I found a great handyman. I connected the two of them. The guy went, did the job, did a great job. She was very happy. Followed up with her to make sure everything was well. Great, no problem. Checked in with her a couple of months after that. How are you doing? You need help with anything else? No, I'm fine. Everything's good. Great, Carolyn. Thank you. I tried to call her a few other times and didn't connect. A month ago, I got a call from Dennis. He said, hey, Bob, this is Dennis. I am Carolyn Beach's nephew. You helped her with a handyman named whatever his name was. Yeah, actually, I did. Absolutely. I haven't talked to her in a while. How is Carolyn? Well, she died. She was diagnosed with cancer 6 weeks ago, and it went very quickly and, unexpected. However, she was fine with it. It was okay. All was well. And before she passed, she gave me your card and said she wanted to give you the opportunity to sell this house. Give value without expecting anything in return. So what are you trying to accomplish when you're calling? You're trying to make an appointment. That's your goal, to make an appointment for a listing presentation, a buyer consult, or at least to get in front of them. You're attempting to get a referral. Who do you know that might be thinking, who else can I help? Or you're looking to add to your Met database. And what's your Met database, folks? Your Met database is people who know, like, and trust you. I've heard it said that if your Met database, if you're in Costco and you recognize somebody, that's a Met database. So those are the three things you're attempting to accomplish when you're on the phone. Nothing else matters. Do not try and sell them over the phone. Nobody's going to list a house with you over the phone. Nobody's going to sign a buyer consultation with you over the phone. Maybe they'll do it on a FaceTime or a Zoom call, but they're not going to do any business with you over the phone. We want to look at the anatomy of no, because this is the thing that most of us are afraid of. This is the thing that scares us, folks, is being told no. Our amygdala, which is our croc brain, views no as that saber-toothed tiger attacking us until we can make the transition to our neocortex that goes, no, this isn't an attack from a saber-toothed tiger. This is just somebody saying no to us. And that immediate rejection, our amygdala, goes to fight or flight. And we need to be able to transition out of fight or flight to, hey, no, this is okay. We're not in danger here. All right. And there's a way that we can do this. I'm going to show you how. These are called RBOs, reflex responses, brush-offs, or objections. And these happen every time on every call, and they're different things. A reflex response, a brush-off, and an objection are three different things. The way to handle any one of these is we have to anchor it. We have to understand, okay, I've just been hit with this. I get it. Anchor that, because that'll switch off the amygdala and let you switch to the neocortex. You've got to then disrupt it, their initial response, whatever it is, disrupt that, and then you can respond or ask. By the way, all this data is in Phonetical Prospecting by Jeb Blount, as well as Psychology of Selling by Brian Tracy. I never made any of this up. Reflex responses or brush offs are very similar kind of things. Very common ones, and I'm going to address each one of these, are just looking, we're not selling anymore, we're happy with our agent, we're not moving, I'm not interested, no thank you, or hey, can you tell me or email me some information? Okay, these are several reflex responses. Okay. To anchor and disrupt each of these responses, you only need one key phrase. Brian Tracy in the Psychology of Selling, if somebody says, I'm just looking, then I'll respond with, that's exactly why I called. If somebody says, I'm not selling anymore, that's exactly why I called. If somebody says, I'm happy with my current agent, I say, that's exactly why I called. Why? Because they're not expecting you to say that. It disrupts them. Another one he uses is, that's the best part. Hey, I'm not interested. Oh, that's the best part. They're not expecting that. That anchors and disrupts them. Jeb Blount in Fanatical Prospecting. I'm so happy or glad you said that. I'm not interested. I'm so happy you said that. I'm so glad you said that. Then we respond and ask, and I'm breaking each one of these down for you. If somebody says, I'm just looking, and folks, we will get this all the time with online leads, all the time. The first thing any online lead ever says to me is, we're just looking. Then I go, that's exactly why I called. All of our clients who currently own homes, we're all just looking at some point. When do you hope to own a home? That's a great one. Because they have one arrow in their quiver to shoot at you, and that's, I'm just looking. They fire it, and guess what? You deflect it and say, yeah, that's exactly why I called. And you respond with this, and now they got nothing. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. Jeb Blount tells the story in the book Fanatical Prospecting that he went to a different town to give a seminar or something, and he forgot about his charger cord. And so he went into a store to find one, and he walked in, and a salesperson walked up to him and said, may I help you? And he said, no, I'm just looking. And he walked a couple of steps and then realized, no, wait, I actually do need help. Just looking is a standard response that all of us have to try and deflect or put off salespeople. Everyone's got this one in their quiver. So being able to respond to it or handle it is key. When we're back to being able to doing open houses, you could run into this with buyers or people that walk into your open house. But this 100% happens with online leads all the time. Now you know how to handle it. We're not selling anymore. That's exactly why I called. You were selling. What changed? Notice the questions at the end. When? What? Open-ended questions. We're happy with our agent. I'm so glad or happy to hear you say that. Some of my best clients were happy when I first called. And there's more to that one. We're not moving. If you were to ever consider moving, when would that be? I'm commercial only. Any tips or caveats specific to commercial? Chi-Yu, no. I got nothing specific to commercial. I don't live in the commercial world. I don't deal in that world. It's a different animal. Will some of these same things still work for you? Probably. And I'll be upfront and honest with you, Chi. That's not my world. I will refer business to you. There's a commercial person here in my office that I will refer business to, but I don't live in that world. So, okay. All right. If you were to ever consider moving, when would that be? I was circle calling around a neighborhood once, and the lady said, I'm not moving. I'm not moving right now. That's a key one. I'm not moving right now. Oh, great. If you ever were to consider moving, when would that be? Next month. Okay. We should probably get together then. So just to the point of somebody may say, I'm not moving right now, but they might be moving in a week, in a month, in 2 months, or whatever it is. When would that be? I'm not interested. This is one of my favorites. Oh, this is fun. I'm not interested. That's exactly why I called. I don't charge interest. Now, I'll be honest with you and tell you that the majority of the time, when I hear I'm not interested, it's followed with click. And they're gone, done, off somewhere else. And 1 out of 10 will stay in there long enough for me to say I don't charge interest. And then they laugh. And what happens if they laugh?
Keep going.
You can keep going. Exactly. No, thank you. This one was a challenge for me. I had to come up with a response for this because I would run into no thank you and I wasn't sure what I would do with that. That's exactly why I called. I just called to thank you. And they're going to go, huh? And if you get someone to go, huh, what? Guess what? They're interested, engaged now, and they're going to have a conversation with you. Sometimes people will tell you, or you're calling an expired, hey, I want to see if I can help you sell your home. Well, why don't you tell me over the phone what it is, or email me what it is. I would love to, but there are some things I must show you. Anytime you're going for the appointment and somebody says, well, can't you just tell me, or why don't you just email it to me? Say, I would love to be able to do that. And there are some things I have to show you. Got this from Brian Tracy in The Psychology of Selling. And here's a great one. May I ask, the last agent that you hired, did you hire them based on a phone call or an email or by meeting with them? What's going to be the answer to that? You know they met with them. Unless it's an absentee owner in another state, then you can do a Zoom call. And a Zoom call or FaceTime or Skype or whatever is a meeting. Here's some common objections. First of all, we need to know the difference between a condition and an objection. A condition cannot be overcome. People that are on unemployment right now, can they buy a home? No. Lost their job, bankruptcy, they just bought or sold. Yeah, I just bought this house 6 months ago. Are they going to sell? No. That's a condition. An objection is a request for more information. We often view rejections as a negative thing, as a problem. They're resisting me, they're objecting to me. An objection, the perspective to have is it's a request for more information. And some of the common ones, I'm not selling. What price would cause you to sell? Or if you were to ever consider selling, when would that be? What would cause you to sell? Not right now. What if we could? This one I may have developed. I will tell you, almost everything that falls out of my mouth, I never created myself. I got it from somebody else. I may have created this one. And this one is really for kind of an expired type of listing. Because if you're selling something, what is your plan? What is your intention? If you're selling a house, what is it you plan to do? Besides just sell that house?
Moving.
Moving. Go somewhere else. Buy something else. Move somewhere. That didn't work out. So, if you find out, well, where it is you were moving to, what was your plan? Where were you going? They say, well, we wanted to get closer to the beach or move over here or move over there. Great. Well, let me ask you, if we could go to Disneyland and it was open and there were no lines and the food was free and it didn't put an ounce of weight on us and we could have a great time. Would you do it? Well, yeah. So if we could find you that ideal replacement home by the beach at a great price and get a great value for your house, does that even make sense for you right now? That's a little bit of a takeaway close. If we could get you into that new home at a great price and we could get a great value for your current home, does that even make sense right now? It's a yes or no question, and it's also a powerful one because it gets them thinking about, I want to get to that other house and I want to get a good value for this house. So that's the, for a not right now or whatever. For sell by owner, won't pay a buyer agent. This is a fun one. This is great. Okay, when a for sale by owner, I'll call them up. We just want to make sure you're willing to work with a buyer agent. They say, nope, we won't pay a buyer agent. Okay, well, just so I'm clear, if I were to show up at your doorstep today with a cash buyer and a suitcase with $1 million, whatever the price of they're asking for their property, and they could close in a week or 30 days, you would tell me, no, thank you. Is that correct? And this gives clarity to their absurdity of not being willing to pay a buyer's agent. And almost every time I've asked this question, then they'll go, oh, well, oh, okay, yeah. I've done this by text, and I had a guy go, that was a good one. Okay, I'll talk to you. All right, so just, it brings clarity to, okay, you're being ridiculous, Mr. or Mrs. for sale by owner. We're staying with the same agent. This is a fun one. Okay, now, this question right here is key when you get staying with the same agent. Did they do everything they could to get your home sold? Max, can you role play this with me? Unmute yourself. Great. Okay. So when I ask this question, Max, I want you to say yes. So Max, did that last agent do everything they possibly could to get your home sold the last time?
Yes.
Then what else will they do? And you don't need to answer. Now, I want you to say no. Max, did that agent do everything they possibly could to get your home sold the last time?
No.
Then why would you want to work with someone who didn't do everything they possibly could? And you don't wait for a response to either the yes or the no. When we responded with, okay, well, yes, they did do everything they could. Well, what else do they have? Or no, they didn't do everything. Then why would you want to work with them? Then you go immediately into what's called the surgery script. This one is powerful. It's ideal for expired or canceled, or it's ideal for anybody that says I'm staying with the same agent. Got this from Diana Kokoski in Bold many years ago, and I'm sure Mike Ferry created it. The surgery script is, well, Max, it looks like your house is going to sell for $1.2 million. Is that correct?
Yes.
Right, yeah. Now, if you went to the doctor and they told you that you needed a $1.2 million surgery, would you want a second opinion?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it only makes sense. Now, I realize selling your house is not major surgery, and it is an important financial decision. Wouldn't it be worth just a few minutes of your time to get that second opinion?
I guess it would.
Fantastic. Are you available in the afternoons or nights and weekends better? And you close on the appointment. Would you be more comfortable with Zoom, or are you okay with it in person? I'll go through closing on appointment in just a second. That script, it brings clarity to, you should get a second opinion. It makes sense. People get it then. And if you don't get the appointment using that, you were never going to get it. And it's okay. And Max, thanks for role playing that with me.
Of course.
So the surgery script is, if you went to the doctor, they told you you needed a whatever number cost surgery, would you want a second opinion? And you'll hear them gasp, groan, say yes, do whatever after that. They kind of go, oh, yeah. And say, of course. And I know this isn't major surgery and it is an important financial decision. Wouldn't it be worth just a few minutes of your time to get that second opinion? And I do second opinion like an embedded command. If you've never heard of embedded commands, those are key phrases that are separated by blank air. Don't you want to list with me today? List with me is an embedded command, and that's what people will remember and hear. So I'm happy with the current agent. I'm staying with the same. I'm happy. I'm so glad to hear you say that you're happy with that agent. I got this one from what's his name? I forget his name now. Red Book of Sales, Jeffrey Gittimer. I'm so glad to hear you say that you're happy with your agent. I love working with happy people. Let me tell you though, our clients are ecstatic with us, and we're getting them 2 to 3% more on average. So I'm glad to hear you say you're happy. Would you rather be happy or ecstatic? That's the happy agent script. It's not one I use a lot. I'll throw it out there for you. We have a family member. Anybody ever hear this? I have. This one's fun. This is the Thanksgiving script. They say, oh, I've got a family. Max, role play with me. Yeah, are you thinking about selling your house, Max? Or you still want to sell your house?
Yes.
And, well, I'd like the opportunity to interview for the job of selling that.
Okay.
And you're going to tell me you have a family member that's going to do it.
Okay. I have a family member who's helping me sell.
Oh, okay, fantastic. That's great. I'm sure, you feel an obligation to that family member, you trust them and so forth. In California though, Max, our purchase agreement is 10 pages long. Do you know why?
No, I don't.
Because of all the legal battles that have occurred as a result of real estate transactions that have not gone well. Heaven forbid that something happened with you and that family member in a real estate transaction. Would you be able to look across the table from them at Thanksgiving?
I guess not.
Right, exactly. Now, here's the great news, Max. You can hire me to help you get your home sold, and I can pay your family member a referral fee. That way, they'll still get some money for helping you out. However, you'll have a professional third party that will help you through the process. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Sign here, press on. Okay, so the Thanksgiving script is painting a picture. We're painting pictures, folks. And we do have a freaking long purchase agreement. It's 10 pages long. And it's because of all the litigious crap that goes on in our state. And hey, something could go wrong. Would you be able to look across the table from them at Thanksgiving? Then you want to close on the appointment. I like either or close. This one is powerful, and I was just using it on Max. When you get to the point where it's time to close on the appointment, I go with, are you available in the afternoon or nights and weekends better? I actually developed this close because in the morning I'm dialing. I'm not going to have an appointment in the morning, Monday through Friday. I want to do it in the afternoon. And because I don't want to have to work in the evenings or on weekends. And we have to, in real estate we do, and I want to do it in the afternoon. Are you available in the afternoon or nights and weekends better? The beauty of this is, if they answer that question, they have said yes to the appointment. A lot of us over the years in sales have been instructed, are you available at 2 or 3? Are you available this evening at 5 or tomorrow evening at 6 or whatever that is? We've been taught that kind of close, that either or close. This one is taking a 747 and landing it on a aircraft carrier. You're starting high. Are you available in the afternoons or nights and weekends better? And once they answer that, they're going to say yes to that time. It's just an easier way to back into nailing down a time. Okay? The COVID close. I had to create this one. This one is a great one too, folks. May we schedule a Zoom call, or are you comfortable meeting in person? I was on a call with a for sale by owner earlier and I blew it. I didn't do this, and when I follow up with them next week, I will. They said, no, I won't let you come and preview the house because of COVID and all of that. If you have a buyer, we'll set that up. So what I'm going to do next week is call them and say, hey, you know what? I know you got great pictures. Would it be possible to schedule a FaceTime tour of the property? Or I can send you a Zoom link and you can walk around and show me the place. So the beauty with this is, are you comfortable meeting in person, or would you rather do a Zoom call? Because I'll do either. I have found on buyer consults, most people are willing to meet in person. But now, again, this is a gentle way to back into scheduling the appointment. Whichever one they're comfortable with, once they say, yes, I'd rather do this, they're saying yes to the appointment. And you can nail down the time. The FSBO direct is, well, I should see your house. Well, 2 o'clock today work. How are you coordinating showings? This one is more challenging now because of COVID. It just is. So, yeah, with, okay, did that change it? All right, you can still see this, right? Because I just did something different. Say yes, I can still see it.
I
Yeah,
cannot.
Okay, you're still good? All right. Something weird just happened with Zoom. Keep in mind, when you're scheduling an appointment, no one has an hour.
Bob, I only have the gallery view. If you are sharing.
You're in the
this-
gallery view? Okay, so let me go to, let me make sure yeah, I don't know. Okay, here we go. Share. There it is. Sorry about that, folks. I might hit stop share. When you're closing on the appointment, remember, no one has an hour. Don't ever mention times when you're scheduling an appointment. Yeah, I'd like to meet with you for an hour. Oh God, I don't have an hour. I'd like to meet with you for 15 minutes. I don't have 15 minutes. Everyone has a few minutes. We don't need to worry about how long it's going to take. You just need a few minutes of their time. And a few might end up being an hour, and that's okay. They will give you the time. However, if you approach it from, I'd like to meet with you for an hour and I'll set a timer and you can kick me out when the hour's done. I've heard agents do that. Just a few minutes. Everyone has a few minutes. What tools do you need to do this? A phone. We all have one of those. List sources. Where are you going to get those phone numbers from? Like I mentioned, those of you that are new, you're going to call your database. You need a database and a system to follow up with them once you get them. Because we're with Keller Williams, those of you that are with Keller Williams, we have Command, so those can go in there. And there's all kinds of different systems out there, database systems. That's great, no problem. And you need that. And I would recommend a noise canceling headset. I have this one right here. It's Bluetooth enabled. It costs Yame. It's about 35 bucks, 40 bucks on Amazon. And it's key to making it easier for you to do that. Also, if calling is going to be your way of getting business, look at Mojo, mojosells.com or mojosellingsolutions.com. It's a dialing system that you throw the list in there and it dials it for you. And it's way, way more efficient than having to hand dial phone numbers. Okay? A word about PKE. PKE is prospecting karmic energy. The more you prospect, the more you put out to the universe that you're available to help them with their real estate needs, the universe will bring it back to you. A prime example, I mentioned one earlier about Carolyn Beach. Do good without expecting anything in return. The Coronas, not the beer, Juan and Sylvia Corona, they, law of attraction. Yes, GU, it absolutely is the law of attraction, correct. I was circle calling on a Monday morning around a listing that we had. I think it was just sold or just listed. And I got Sylvia Corona on the phone. Who do you know that might be thinking about making a move? And she said, well, we are. We're older. We're in a 2-story house. Our kids are growing up and moving out. We need to get to a single-story house. Great. We should get together. I met with them that evening. And when I walked into the house, I could see there were people of faith because there were emblems on the walls and so forth. And we discussed what they wanted to accomplish and how we would go about that. They owned their house outright and they wanted to be able to sell that and purchase something else. Now, at that point in the market, the only thing they could purchase was a short sale. And there is no way a bank would approve of a short sale contingent on another house selling. So I got them a pre-approval letter and found a house that was actually listed by an agent that I knew. And I said, Andy, here's how we're going to do this. You give the pre-approval letter, you start the short sale approval process. Those of you that have never done a short sale, it can take months to get the thing approved. So I said, you're going to start the short sale pre-approval process. Then when you get close, you let me know, I'll get their house sold and we'll do a concurrent close. We'll close their house, get the cash over to you to buy that house. Okay, let's do that. Got that going, and the first buyer that we got for him bailed out. So Andy was able to get an extension to the short sale approvals. Second buyer was able to close, got him in. And when I handed Sylvia and Juan the keys to their house, Sylvia pulled me aside and said, Bob, we never told you this, but on Sunday night, we prayed that if a real estate agent called us, it was God telling us we should move. And I called them on Monday morning. So my question to you is, what if I hadn't called? What if I hadn't called? What would have happened?
Oh, whoever did
You
call,
wouldn't have gotten the listing.
whoever did.
I wouldn't have gotten it,
Somebody would.
and somebody else would have, because God was going to make it happen.
Amen.
I just got in the way. And I got in the way by picking up the phone, not fearing rejection, and asking, who do you know that might be thinking about moving? If you get in the way enough, good things will happen. And that's at the crux of it. Is, do you, I don't have it in this presentation. It's called HIPS. Jeb Blount talks about HIPS, high intensity prospecting sessions. If you're at a point in your life where you really hate no, and everybody does, it's okay, where you really hate it, then dedicate yourself to taking 5 minutes to make calls. Just say, I'm going to spend 5 minutes making calls now. High intensity prospecting session. And just make those calls regardless of the outcome. Don't worry about it. And then move that to 10, and then 15, and then 20, and up to where you're able to go for an extended period of time and make those calls. Some of you on this call don't fear it at all. Awesome. Some of you that are newer probably are scared to death. And I get it, and it's okay. Just make the calls. All right, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to make some calls. Let's go with, since most of you are in the South Bay office, I'm going to do some circle calls. Sorry, I just saw something. 80% is showing up. Yeah, Woody Allen, that's right. I think it may be higher than 80%. However, it could be 90%. And showing up is the key. Just being willing to make those calls. That's the key. All right, so now we're going to get Mojo up. There we go. And you all can see Mojo now, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so what I'm going to do is a circle call around a listing that we have coming on the market. Just so you get to hear what that looks like or sounds like and looks like. So I'm making the call through this speaker, so you all should be able to hear. It's best if you're muted because something bad could happen. You start talking while I'm talking. All right, so we're going to do that. Yep, that's good. I'm going to be dialing 3 lines at a time. I'm using my 916 number because my 310 number has gotten some kind of spam alama thing associated sometimes. The 916 number is not as much. And this is Mojo. This is the dialing system that I use.
In your touchtone phone, please enter. You are now logged into the Mojo dialer. Please press the start button on your screen to begin calling.
So this list of phone numbers around this listing that I have, I uploaded into this system, and now this is dialing these phone numbers. So now all those phones are ringing. There was an agent up in Northern California in the Roseville office, great lady, did a great business. I taught this class once and made live calls in the class. And she'd been in the business forever, and it was hysterical because she said, "Oh my God, I was so nervous when you were doing that." And she was, "Hello?"
Hello?
Yeah, hi, good morning. My name is Bob. I'm a local real estate professional. Hoping I was reaching someone who lives on 234th Street.
Hi.
Yeah, well, I'm calling because we have a house coming on the market real close to you there on 235th. And I promised the owner that I would reach out to the neighbors and just ask who you know, friend, family, coworker, might be thinking about buying a home in that area.
Yeah.
Yeah, who do you know that might be thinking about buying a home?
I don't know.
You don't know anyone? Well, I appreciate you taking a minute to think about that. You know, we do expect that it'll sell very quickly and we'll probably have other buyers. If you were to ever consider selling your place, when would that be?
We had this over 50 years.
Oh my goodness.
And we continue to grow.
Yeah.
We're going to be here, and we both die. Our daughter was own it then.
Fantastic.
We're not expected.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's anything you can have any interest in what you're talking about.
Okay, fair enough. I appreciate that. And I'm sure you have your property in a trust. Is that correct?
Oh, we've got it fixed the way that it needs to be fixed.
Good, good. Fantastic. All right. Well, let me ask, do you need any help with any improvements or repairs to your house? Because we work with some great people.
Oh, great. We've done different stuff, and we're going to do one other thing here soon. For some we've already know.
Okay, good. Awesome, fantastic. Okay. All right, well, I appreciate your time today. Thank you so much. You have a great day. Stay healthy and safe.
In 40 years, I think that's enough to go.
All righty. Take care.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye. Okay, see, that was a great opportunity to get, I'm going to die here. I'm going to die here a lot of times feels like that's a dead end. It's not going anywhere. All right. He said that he was going to give it to his daughter. Now, if somebody is going to give their property to somebody else, what should that property be in?
A trust.
Exactly. It should be in a trust. And if it's not, then they need a referral to a trust attorney that we know or you know that can help them out. One time I was talking with a lady and she said, I'm never moving. I'm going to give it to my kids. Great. Is it in a trust? She said, no. And you know what? We really need to do that. Great. I know an excellent trust attorney that I can refer you to. May I connect you? Absolutely. So I got her the name and number of my trust attorney. I told my trust attorney, you need to call this person because they need to get their house in a trust. They connected. The next day, that trust attorney called me and said, Bob, I have a referral for you. Give value without expecting anything in return. And additionally, I asked, do you need any repairs or improvements to your house? We all have, hopefully, you have a handyman, a painter, a carpenter, a whatever that can help people. And if you refer business to them, what could then happen for you?
They do the same.
Exactly. Okay. Now I'm making these notes because when this property on 235th hits the market in another couple weeks, I'm going to go back around and say, hey, when I talked to you, you didn't know anybody. Has anybody come to mind? And you could tell he was older. Okay, so that's a contact. Hello?
Yeah.
Hi, good morning. My name is Bob. I'm a local real estate professional. Hoping I was reaching someone that lives on 234th Street in Torrance. Hello?
Oh,
Yeah, hi, my name is Bob. I'm Bob. I'm a local real estate professional. Was hoping that I was reaching somebody that lives on 234th Street in Torrance.
yes.
Oh, thank you so much. The reason for my call is because we have a house coming on the market real close to you there on 235th in a couple of weeks. I promised the owner I would contact the neighbors and just ask who you might know, friend, family, coworker, that's thinking about buying a home in the area.
Nobody, everybody's moving out.
Oh my,
Here.
wow. Oh my goodness.
Nobody wants to live in California.
Yeah, are you moving out? And he hung up on me. So let's have some fun. He is moving out. So we're going to redial him and apologize for getting disconnected. Because if everybody's moving out, he might be moving out. Let's see if his house is on the market. Nope.
Voice message system 31097799469 is not available.
Yeah, hi, this is Bob. Sorry we got disconnected. You mentioned felt like everybody was moving out. Wanted to see if you possibly were as well. You can reach me at 310-692-4132. That's 310-692-4132. Thanks. So, and he's still on that list. So when I call to do the on the market call, might get him again. And that's okay. Normally I'd send a text, but I'm not sure that was a cell phone. Hello?
Hello.
Hi, my name is Bob. I'm a local real estate professional. Hoping I was reaching someone that lives on 233rd Street.
Yeah, that's me, but I'm not in.
Well, that's exactly why I called. I don't charge interest. And actually, I'm calling because we have a house coming. He hung up on me. Whatever. Now, in that case, I should have gone to, hey, the reason I'm calling is because we have a house coming on the market. And that usually calms them down because they think I'm calling to see if they want to sell. And I'm able to switch it up on them and go, that's not why I'm calling. I'm calling to see if you want to pick your neighbor. And that one usually makes them laugh. So apologize, I screwed up on that one.
Has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system 310.
On this particular call, I choose not to leave a message or send a text. If it were an expired or for sale by owner, I would leave a message.
Again later. Goodbye. You have reached the voicemail box of 310.
This phone is protected by no more. To prove you're not a robocaller, please enter the number 93.
So that answers your question about, am I a robo-dialer? I'm not.
It's calling.
Yeah, hi, this is Bob. I'm a local real estate professional. Hoping I was reaching someone on 235th Place.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks so much. I'm calling because we've got a house coming on the market about one street over from you on 235th Street in a couple of weeks. I promised the owner I'd reach out to the neighbors and just ask who you might know, friend, family, coworker, could be thinking about buying a home in that area.
Yeah, nobody I know can afford to live in this area.
Gotcha.
When we moved here in 1972.
Wow.
You know, and I couldn't, you know, even if I was working now, if we both of us working, we couldn't afford to live here.
Yeah, absolutely. Good thing you bought when you did. You probably have a lot of equity in your place now.
It's all equity.
Yeah, man, good for you. Good for you. Well, you know,
but when we moved here, we lived on Carson between Maple and Verona.
Mm-hmm.
And we had 3 sons, and they all were starting to go to high school. And we had a 3-bedroom house, and so it was a rotation every year, you know, between 2 bedrooms, bunk beds.
Yeah.
And so we figured, you know, it would be proper to get a proper house.
Yep.
So we found this one, and at the time we moved in here, this was on this side of the street. You know, it was empty field. You know, the street was paved halfway.
Yeah.
And, you know, the rest of it was dirt. There was no houses across the street. It was just empty. But for what we needed, you know, for the boys to go to school, that's what we needed.
Yep.
That's why we took it.
Absolutely. Fantastic. Well, let me ask, are you thinking at all about making any kind of move, maybe to a smaller house?
No.
Yeah.
No, we're both in our mid-80s. The stress of trying to move would probably be too much for it.
Yeah. Okay, so you're getting along fine in your home. It's working for you. You're in good shape there?
Right.
Excellent.
Right.
Excellent. Okay. And I'm guessing you probably have that property in a trust for when the time comes, it'll convey to whoever it needs to go to. Excellent.
Yes.
Good. Good. A wise man. Do you need any help with any repairs or improvements to your home? Because we do work with some great people.
I got a door frame that needs to be painted.
Mhm.
And, nobody wants to bother with that. And it's just, I mean, I've got the paint in the garage, and I've got the sandpaper, and I got the brushes.
Mhm.
I just don't feel like it, And these paintings, they got a minimum, and
Yeah.
to pay $2,000 to get a door frame painted, is stupidity.
Sure, absolutely. Well, I actually have a handyman that actually helped out the neighbor that the house that we're selling that was way less than $2,000. Would you
I
want?
would certainly hope so.
Yeah. Would you want the name of a resource just to reach out and see what they would charge?
I would hate to even insult them to come over and even ask.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I can appreciate that. If you need someone, I got a guy that is reasonable and does a good job. If you'll get to at some point, then that's okay. No worries at all.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I hope you have a successful sale.
Thank you.
It helps the whole neighborhood.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. And I apologize. I didn't get your first name.
The first name is Bill.
Bill. All right, Bill. Thank you so much for your time and your help today. Really appreciate it. You stay healthy and safe, okay?
All right.
All right.
Goodbye.
Take care. Oh, that's fun. That is fun, man. When they start going down the whole path of whatever they're going to do. Yeah, that is a lot of fun. All right, it is 10:53. And a very pleasant guy to talk to. Yes, Yana. Yeah, a lot of times, you can get the people I had that hung up on me, and you can get a nice guy like that that's going to tell you his whole story, and that's okay. Either one's fine, no problem at all. Let's stop share. So it is now 11:53. Does anybody have any questions? Are you dealing with a specific objection or a type of call you want to make that you need help with? Or did anything come to mind about anything I shared today?
Maybe sometimes people that are very nice and they know they have nothing to lose or to gain, and they're nice to the caller, maybe leave a phone number, a name, just in case they run into somebody, a family member, something that may be doing something in the immediate future or in the.
So what you're saying is, while I'm dialing, you're suggesting that I leave a message with the name and phone number.
The people that are very nice, that want to talk,
nice.
Yeah, they want to talk, they want to have a conversation. For what it's worth, here's my name and number. And if you do run into somebody, because they're likely to keep the conversation in mind and mention it to somebody and then say, here's his name and phone number.
Yeah, that's a good suggestion, Lee. And you and all the people on this call are welcome to do whatever they would want to do. If I felt I've built a strong enough connection there, then I'll mail them my business card.
That's even better, yes.
Or I might even say, hey, I'd like to drop off a market value report for you.
Or have a standard letter that if somebody's very nice, you already have their address and all of that, send a standard letter, mention the conversation, put the date, and for what it's out in the sky, but you never know.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, I hate letters. I hate writing cards. I do it and I hate it. So that's why I'm not going to go there. I'd rather dial them again. And
no question. I'm just saying, having a template already.
Yeah, I
you
get
just put
it.
their name and
Totally get it. I'm not a mail. I'm not a mail guy. I'm a mail. I'm not a mail guy. So and Lee, your point is accurate and 100% dead on. That
Bob,
is an opportunity.
you're an alpha male.
Exactly. All right. Anybody else with a question or a comment about today's session or anything you're working on?
No, thank you so much.
I have a quick question.
Yes, Anna.
So I have a 404 area code number, and I'm finding that nobody answers my phone calls. Do you suggest switching phone numbers, or do you think eventually somebody will answer?
What are you calling, Anna, when you're doing it?
What am I calling? I'm just calling like farming leads, like circle prospecting.
Okay, so you're circle prospecting. I will tell you, I'm using my 916 number.
Okay. Do you
And
find people answer the phone more often than not?
yes, because it's different. It's unique.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a 404 or 310 or whatever. And again, I have a Google Voice number. And Anna, if you wanted to make a Google Voice number with 310 and use that and see what happens. It costs you nothing. So, hey, give it a shot.
Okay, great. Thank
Why
you.
not? Yeah, absolutely. Great question, Anna. Anybody else?
Yeah, in addition, Bob, to the question or the lead in of a house coming on the market in a couple of weeks, I promised to call around the neighbors to see if anyone knows of a buyer. Could you also add to that before I tap into my list of buyers, or would that be pushing too much on the plate at the same time?
Oh, no. I mean, if you have a list of buyers that could be a fit for that property, absolutely. Go after that. Heck yeah. In the platform that we have that generates online leads for me, I've already gone in there and texted everyone to say, I've got this that was searching in Torrance. I've got this property coming on the market. Would you like more information? So, and Marius, yeah, if you've got a listing coming on the market, then absolutely hit your database first. Yeah, absolutely. All right, anybody else? Anyone? Bueller? Nope, okay, great. It's 11:58. I've gotten emails from some of you to get the presentation. I will definitely get that out to you. I apologize that wasn't working for part of it. Hopefully that works for you. If you have other questions, email me, text me, or if you're in the South Bay office, you know where to find me. Right, Cecily?
Correct.
All right. All right, everyone. Thank you for being here. I hope you got value. Smile, dial, and earn a pile.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bob.
Thanks. See you soon.
Thank you.